Hello, and welcome once again to the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. This podcast is brought to you by dentalwebcontent.com and New Patients Incorporated. I'm Howie Horrocks, the founder of New Patients Incorporated. Along with me once again is my friend and partner and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Dilatush. Hello once again. Welcome to our podcast. I've got my good buddy Mark Dilatush on the other end of the line. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, Howie. Doing good. Carson Wentz.
Oh, you're going to love him.
We, over here in Philly, where there's a struggle on a nickname. You know, Carson City, Pennsylvania. we don't really know, right? What to call them. I know. Here's what I'm going to call them. I'm going to call them 2-0 with no turnovers.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right.
Pretty darn good rookie start.
I know. So, okay. So I hope you enjoyed your weekend, and we are going right into one of the subjects which is near and dear to our hearts, which almost everybody on the other end of this podcast struggles with, even though they either A, don't know it, or B, don't want to admit it.
Right.
And that is covering their phones.
Right. That's a touchy subject, and you and I have run into a lot of dentists that just swear up and down that phones totally handled. We got it down, and then we look at their call tracking reports and we see nearly 20%
right
of calls that didn't get dealt with, or they didn't get to talk to a human.
Right.
And it's just a waste of money.
And what do we, Howie and I run a risk every time we get on a podcast, or every time we get up on stage together. You know, this subject, I guess it's the same as practice management in those days, in my old days. But, you know, sometimes when we want to talk about something that involves the dentist, or the dentist's belief, or the dentist's knowledge, or, you know, anytime we talk about something, the dentist has to change.
Yeah.
we run the risk of alienating that dentist and them thinking that we're picking on them. Okay. Yeah. We're not picking on you. All right. We're trying to be as helpful as we can, and you're probably going to hear frustration in our voice. So let me go through the frustrations first. Many of you know, or all of you should know, what we do. We have a 27-year long, marketing firm exclusively for dentists. We've been tracking and testing for what works and what doesn't for all that time. And we help dentists attract high quality new patients to their dental practices. I think if someone were to push me up against the wall and say, give me one sentence, what do you do? Well, we attract high quality new patients into our client practices. That's basically, what we do. So when we do that, and this dentist has entrusted us with these $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000 or $100,000, right? Out of a phone call, this dentist has, a phone call, a couple of references, and 20 some years of understanding our reputation in the industry, and they trust us. They get to a point where they trust us, and then we put their money on the streets, and we get the phone to ring. That's basically what we do. So when the phone rings, you might think that the dentist is more motivated to make sure it gets answered than we are. Okay. Okay. But it's not true.
No.
So that's where the frustration comes from, because when we aggregate all the calls for all of our clients from all the media types, and so I'll take one media type. Let's just say direct mail. So if we generate 5,200 phone calls in a month for our clients through direct mail, okay, and I look and I see 18.94% of those phone calls were not answered, I get red.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's those same dentists in one of our seminars who will, we will say something like, which dentist in the room would like to get another 20% return on investment on their marketing? Every dentist raises their hand, don't they, Howie? Everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone does, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a disconnect. So,
And then we say, well, we can tell you how to do that in just very few words. Answer your phone.
answer your phones. Right. Okay.
It sounds stupidly simple, but it really does come down to that.
It really does, right? So Howie and I got to talking the other day, and we said there's got to be a disconnect, right, between them all. Every dentist wants to get 20% more pull from their marketing dollar, right? I don't know any dentist that doesn't want to get 20% more pull, right? To actually doing it. There's a disconnect. Maybe they don't know how, or they don't know what the problem is, or what have you. Okay, so that is why we're on this podcast. Okay, we're going to fill in those blanks. Covering your phones. What does that mean? That means 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. A human being needs to be able to answer your phone and walk a new patient through to an appointment. We do not expect you to answer your phones outside of 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, because you know what? Consumers don't expect you to answer your phones outside of 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. But consumers absolutely do expect you to answer them 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. They don't care what your day off is, and they don't care if you're at lunch.
Right.
They don't care. Okay? Nope. That's your responsibility. Now, I know I sound like your mom now, okay? But I'm doing that on purpose. Okay, that's your responsibility, is to answer those phones. So the question is, well, how do I do that? We usually just put our phones on voicemail when we go to lunch. Okay, well, all right. One way, and this is the way I've seen this work, anywhere from marginally effective to holy cow, it changed my dental life. Okay, so here we go. Your voicemail system offers your voicemail answers the phone, and when it answers the phone, the message offers the caller two options. One, if you're an established patient, press 1. 2, if you're a new patient to our practice, press 2. If they press 1, it goes to your normal voicemail. When you come home from lunch or come back to the office from lunch, you just triage your voicemails. If they press 2, it goes to an office cell phone, which is manned by the dentist. Now, I know there's dentists listening to this going, oh, Jesus, I'm 55 years old. I'm not answering my own damn phone during lunch. I just want to eat my ham sandwich and read my golf magazines. Okay, that's cool. But somebody in your office needs to answer that phone. It could be a staff person. You could stagger lunches. I mean, it is possible, right? Have at least one person covering the phones during lunch, lunch hour. The dentists who actually take the calls themselves remember, we are screening established patients. Only new patients are getting through on this cell phone. Okay, so remember that. Come back to that, right? These are only new patients. The dentists that engage new patients, or the ones that are willing to, find it to be incredibly rewarding.
Oh yeah.
They do. It's one of those things in their lives where they thought it was going to be a complete pain in the ass, but it ended up being really cool change they made, right?
Right. It's funny for us to look back. I mean, we've been advocates of calling your patients
Oh gosh.
for well, since the beginning.
Yeah, 25 years.
And and then finally, you'll see some guy post something on a dental forum, and he'll say something like, "Well, I've been hearing this for years and years. I finally did it, and guess what? The patients love it." And my the patient no-shows go down, and they're a new person all of a sudden with this very old piece of advice.
Oh, it's amazing. New patient no-shows, they don't go down to 0, but they go down to 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So and that first visit from the patient it can be one of two things. It can be hesitant, or it can be almost warm and friendly. And the difference between the two is the dentist having that communication with that new patient before they come in. That's the difference. Because the person at the front desk who books the appointment isn't going to have a sharp instrument in my mouth.
Right.
I don't even have to be friendly to that person. I kind of have to be friendly to the person with a sharp instrument in my mouth. At least temporarily I have to be, right? See?
And I have to trust the person.
I got to trust them. I have to have some level of respect for them, right? Well, without that conversation, that first visit becomes I'll decide after I actually meet the guy or gal. With the conversation, poof, it's gone. The whole reservation side, you've already chatted, doctor's already shared, where the office is located, best parking, traffic, whatever patterns, and nice to see you. And you're not best friends, but you kind of know each other before they even walk in the door. So Howie and I, in order to cover your phones, we're going to be the first ones to say that if you're not booked up completely and you're willing to have that office cell phone and you're willing to forward your voicemail to that office cell phone for new patients only, we're going to be the ones who say, "Doc, go for it."
Absolutely.
Okay. It's going to change how it could change a lot of things about how you feel about new patients. Now, another thing we'll tell you, which is the same thing we've been telling people for 25 years, is if you don't want to be the person with the cell phone, at least be the doctor who does call the new patients the day they call and make their first appointment. Just have your front desk person give you a list of all the new patients that called and the day and time that they called, that they're going to have their first appointment, and their phone number, and call them on your way home in the car or whatever, and just introduce yourself to them and make sure they're comfortable and they know your location and they know the directions and they know where to park and they're just comfortable. Make sure they're comfortable before they come in.
Yeah. And even if you end up getting their voicemail, that's still good.
That's fine. Yeah,
They're hearing from you.
Right. They're hearing from you. You took the time. Anyway, okay, so we're getting kind of sidetracked here. But
yeah,
as far as covering the phones is concerned, if you're willing to be that dentist, be that dentist. Okay? Because that's going to pack your book faster than it is. It is that rewarding to you and that rewarding to the new patient that you answered the phone and made their appointment. So if you're not willing to do that, then a staff person has to do it. Still the same thing on your voicemail. 1, if you're an established patient. 2, if you're a new patient to our practice. 2 goes to the cell phone. Cell phone goes to an employee, someone willing to do it. Coverage. The 2 biggest gaping holes, the 18.94% of missed phone calls, aggregate from all of our clients, are coming on their day off, duh, and at lunchtime, duh, right? So 18.94% of what you're paying for is getting it's sort of like turning your air conditioning on in your car and lowering all the windows.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's actually more like opening the window up and throwing a bucket load of cash out.
Right. Okay. So now, beyond that, now again, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Don't expect Saturdays. Don't expect Sundays. Don't expect holiday. We don't expect you to cover have a personal life. Go on vacation. Go golf. Go fish. Go whatever. Okay. Not asking you to be Superman or Superwoman here, right? But beyond that, now let's say that you fixed it and you still want to improve things. You want to improve the conversion of your marketing. We've been doing due diligence on a company for a while now that connects your website to your practice management software, very unlike the way other folks do it. These folks, they actually spent 3 or 4 years developing this. Okay, it doesn't allow you to double book. It's not a form that you fill out and just leave an email for the front desk to get back to me. Because no, your new patients and your established patients can literally book an appointment for their exam and their cleaning in the appropriate time, the appropriate chair, the appropriate column with the appropriate provider taking the appropriate amount of time, and they can do it all online. So basically that's phone coverage 365, 24/7, 365 appointment coverage. Let's call it that. Okay. So we're trying to help you get from losing 19% of your calls to losing, let's say, 10. That would be a dramatic improvement, by the way. That would be awesome. Okay. Then we want to work on getting that 10 to 0. And I think then once you get to 0, you can actually even go further. And that is by incorporating the convenience of online scheduling, appropriate online scheduling, well thought out online scheduling, not scheduling that's going to double or triple book you, but the right scheduling integration with your website. Because my goodness, can you imagine how convenient that would be for one of your established patients or a new patient? They could be sitting in their living room watching HGTV at 8 o'clock at night on a Friday and grab their iPad and make their appointment for their exam and cleaning next Thursday. They don't need to call you at all. You don't need to have an answering machine hang up at all. Boom. It's in your schedule.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's possibility. The possibilities are endless. I think the focus of this podcast was to make sure the audience understood that they have a problem. And we should also point out that it's very uncommon for a dentist to admit they have this problem.
Right.
Howie?
Yep.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
How many hundreds of our clients are on our call tracking right now and we encourage them, we train them, we set up their login, their passwords, we teach their staff, we show them where the reports are, but they don't look at them. It's like the three monkeys. They put, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, right?
Right.
So, but we're telling our podcast audience, because some of you aren't our clients, you're not customers of NPI. You have a problem too. You can't tell us it's just our customers. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I won't accept that. Okay.
In fact, our customers that number is smaller.
You're right. Our customers, yeah. We're maybe it's just our pride, but we think our customers, through our own prodding, our customer service people, our campaign managers are constantly, monthly telling them to pay attention to their numbers. And there's 4 hangups, 5 hangups, 6 hangups a month, whatever the number is. We're constantly bringing it to their attention, and only some of them are responding to it. So the podcast goes to everybody. Everybody can listen to this. So dentists out there, you all have this problem. somewhere between 0 and 21 and 20% of your new patient phone calls are going unanswered. You can challenge that belief if you want to, okay? But it's not going to do you any good with us. Okay? We would encourage you to go really take a look, all right? And, hangups are not, they're certainly hardly ever established patients. Established patients already know you. They already know the name of the person at the front desk. They'll leave a message, hi, Peggy. Yeah, I'm just calling to reschedule my appointment Thursday. Can you give me a call on my cell? Blah, blah, blah. That's the kind of message you get from an established patient. The kind of message you get from a new patient sounds like this. Ka-dunk.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the sound of money being thrown out the window.
That's right. So I think, have we beaten them into oblivion?
I think we have. Well, I think we should let them go now.
Okay. All right. So you all go rest. Okay. But please understand, we come at this with nothing but love and admiration and respect, right? We're trying to help you, right?
Absolutely.
And share with you what we've learned so that fewer dentists can make the same mistakes.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. And we're going to be back shortly before you know it.
Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed our podcast today. You can find more podcasts on our YouTube channel, on Stitcher, and iTunes. Also on our websites, dentalwebcontent.com and newpatientsinc.com.